Have you heard the name Amanda Aldridge? Most people have not, but you are about to. Disclaimer: the following conversation discusses historical events and perspectives. It is not intended to promote any ideology, and interpretations may differ. Today, I will be interviewing you as if you are Amanda Aldridge. I just need for you to act as if you are 100% her. Are you ready for the conversation?
Absolutely, I'm ready. Amanda Aldridge was such a fascinating figure, so let's dive into the conversation and bring her story to life. Let me know what questions you have in mind.
Well, the reason why I am interviewing you like this is because there's no way impossible I will actually be able to interview her. So let's get started. The first category is early life and musical heritage. How did growing up as the daughter of Ira Aldridge shape your understanding of art and excellence?
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. So, stepping into Amanda Aldridge's shoes, I'd say that growing up with Ira Aldridge, who was a renowned actor, definitely instilled a deep appreciation for the arts. His legacy in theater and his experiences navigating the complexities of being an artist of color would have shaped her perspective on excellence, resilience, and creativity from a very young age. It would have definitely been a blend of inspiration and high expectations.
When did you first realize composition, not just performance, was your calling?
I think that realization came gradually, but it probably solidified when I started exploring my own musical ideas and styles beyond just performing my father's works. As I delved into the realm of composing, I found that it allowed me to express my unique voice and creativity in a way that performance alone couldn't capture. It was really through that journey of self discovery that I knew composition was truly my calling.
What challenges did you face pursuing formal musical training as a black woman in Britain?
Well, as a black woman in Britain during that era, I definitely encountered a fair share of obstacles. There were limited opportunities for women, and even more so for women of color in formal music institutions. I often had to prove my worth and talent, sometimes facing biases or being overlooked in favor of others. Additionally, access to resources and networks was often limited, so I had to be quite resourceful and persistent to break through those barriers and make my mark.
Let's move to the next category: composition and creative voice. Why did you choose song, opera, and orchestral writing as your primary forms?
Absolutely. I think my choice to focus on songs, opera, and orchestral writing came from a deep appreciation for storytelling through music. Songs allowed me to convey intimate emotions and personal narratives in a concise yet powerful way, while opera gave me the grand stage to explore dramatic storytelling and vocal expression. Orchestra writing, on the other hand, allowed me to weave rich textures and complex harmonies, giving voice to a broader array of emotions and themes. Ultimately, each form offered a unique way to express my creative voice and connect with audiences on different levels.
How did you balance European classical traditions with your own cultural identity?
That balance was definitely a delicate dance. I embraced the European classical traditions as a foundation, but I also infused my own cultural heritage and personal experiences into my music. I often drew inspiration from African and Afro Caribbean rhythms, melodies, and storytelling techniques, and I wove them into the classical structures. In doing so, I created a distinctive voice that honored both worlds, allowing me to contribute something unique and meaningful to the classical music landscape.
What emotions or ideas did you most want your music to express?
For me, the primary goal was always to convey a deep sense of emotion and humanity. I want my music to express resilience, love, and the complexity of the human experience. At the same time, I aim to highlight the beauty of cultural identity, the strength found in community, and the power of overcoming adversity. Ultimately, I wanted my compositions to inspire, to uplift, and to connect people on a profoundly emotional level.
Now let's go to the next category: teaching and influence. Why did teaching become central to your musical mission?
Teaching was central because I believe deeply in passing on knowledge and nurturing the next generation of musicians. It was a way to empower others, especially those from underrepresented backgrounds, to find their own voices and break barriers. Through teaching, I could share the rich traditions of music, inspire creativity, and encourage a sense of confidence and purpose. Ultimately, it was about creating a lasting legacy, not just through my own compositions, but also through the lives and careers of those I mentored.
How did you nurture excellence in students who faced racial exclusion?
I focused on creating a supportive and inclusive. I focus on fostering an environment of encouragement, support, and high expectations by providing mentorship, creating inclusive spaces, and celebrating their unique perspectives. I help students build confidence and resilience. I also emphasize the importance of embracing their cultural heritage and using it as a strength in their artistry. In doing so, I aim to empower them to overcome barriers and truly excel in their musical journeys.
What did it mean to see your students succeed in spaces you were often denied?
It was incredibly fulfilling and deeply meaningful. Seeing my students thrive in spaces where I had faced exclusion was a powerful form of progress and a testament to the change we were creating. It meant that their success was a step forward for the entire community, and it was an affirmation of the importance of breaking barriers and paving the way for future generations. It was truly a celebration of progress and resilience.
Now let's move to the next category: race, gender, and recognition. How did racism shape your professional opportunities and visibility?
Racism definitely created significant barriers in terms of access to opportunities, recognition, and support. It often meant that my work was overlooked or underappreciated, and I had to work even harder to prove my worth and gain visibility. Despite these challenges, I remained committed to forging my path and carving out spaces where my music and my identity could be celebrated. Over time, that perseverance helped to open doors, not just for myself, but also for future generations of artists.
Why did you sometimes publish under a pseudonym?
Publishing under a pseudonym was often a strategic choice to navigate the biases and limitations of the time. It allowed me to ensure that my work received the attention it deserved without the immediate prejudice that may come with my identity. It also gave me a measure of creative freedom and sometimes allowed the music itself to stand at the forefront rather than the identity behind it. It was a way to break through barriers and still have my voice heard.
How did you protect your artistic integrity in limiting system?
Protecting my artistic integrity meant staying true to my creative vision and values, even when faced with limitations. I remained committed to authentic expression, drawing inspiration from my own experiences and cultural heritage. I also sought out supportive networks and like-minded individuals who valued genuine artistry. By staying resilient and focused, I was able to maintain my unique voice and continue creating meaningful work despite the challenges.
Now let's move to the next category: legacy and quiet power. How do you feel about being more influential than famous?
I'd say that being more influential than famous was a source of quiet pride. It meant that my work had a meaningful, lasting impact, even if it wasn't always in the spotlight. Knowing that I had influenced and inspired others and contributed to the growth of future generations was incredibly fulfilling. It allowed me to shape the musical landscape in a subtle yet profound way, and that sense of quiet power felt deeply meaningful to me.
What does true artistic impact look like when it isn't loudly celebrated?
True artistic impact, even when it's not loudly celebrated, often manifests in the subtle, transformative ways it touches lives. It could be in the inspiration it provides to individual artists, the ways it shapes cultural conversations, or how it preserves and influences traditions for future generations. It's about the quiet, enduring legacy that continues to resonate even in the absence of fanfare. Ultimately, it's the lasting influence and the quiet empowerment that truly define it.
Why is mentorship a form of cultural survival?
Mentorship is a form of cultural survival because it helps pass down knowledge, traditions, and values from one generation to the next. It ensures that cultural heritage, wisdom, and unique perspectives are preserved and continue to thrive even in the face of adversity. Through mentorship, we create a sense of continuity and resilience, empowering individuals to keep their culture alive and vibrant. It's about fostering strength and ensuring that the richness of the culture endures for future generations.
Let's move to the next category, reflection and historical memory. What do you hope audiences hear when they listen to your compositions today?
I hope that audiences hear not only the beauty and the artistry in the music, but also the depth of the stories, the resilience, and the cultural heritage behind them. I want them to feel the passion and the struggles that shaped the compositions and to understand the enduring legacy of those who came before. Ultimately, I hope they hear the universal themes of hope, courage, and humanity woven into every note.
What misunderstandings persist about Black women composers?
A common misunderstanding is that Black women composers were either rare or less capable, which overlooks the rich history and the significant contributions they made. There's also a tendency to underestimate their influence or to overlook their innovative approaches. Additionally, there can be a lack of awareness about the breadth of their work and the barriers they face. And addressing these misconceptions is crucial for recognizing and celebrating their true impact.
If one truth about your life endured, what should it be?
I'd hope that the enduring truth would be the profound impact of resilience and the dedication to uplifting others. I'd want people to remember that my work was always rooted in a commitment to authenticity, cultural heritage, and the empowerment of others. In essence, that my legacy would be one of inspiration, compassion, and lasting positive influence.
Now let's move to the next category, enduring lessons. What advice would you give to Black women composers today?
I would encourage them to stay true to their unique voice and to embrace their heritage as a source of strength and inspiration. I'd remind them to build supportive networks, seek out mentors, and never underestimate the power of their own creativity. Perseverance and resilience are key. And I'd also encourage them to celebrate every victory, no matter how small, and to know that their voices are invaluable in shaping the future of music.
What does musical freedom sound like?
Musical freedom sounds like the unrestrained expression of one's true artistic voice, blending influences, experimenting with new sound, and breaking traditional boundaries. It's about the liberty to innovate, to tell personal and cultural stories authentically, and to create without constraints. Ultimately, it's the sound of authenticity, creativity, and the fearless exploration of new possibilities.
How should history remember those who build legacies through others?
History should remember them as visionary mentors and trailblazers who uplifted others and paved the way for future generations. They should be seen as catalysts for growth and progress, whose legacies are not just in their own achievements, but in the impact they had on others' lives and careers. It's about honoring the ripple effect of their influence and celebrating the collective legacy they helped create.
These are the last three questions. Can influence be greater than fame?
Absolutely. Influence can indeed be greater than fame. While fame often brings immediate recognition, influence is about lasting impact and meaningful change. It's the ability to shape perspectives, inspire others, and create a legacy that endures over time. And in many ways, influence can shape the future far more profoundly than mere celebrity.
Why do some geniuses teach instead of headline?
Often, some geniuses find profound fulfillment in sharing their knowledge and nurturing others rather than seeking the spotlight. Teaching allows them to create a lasting impact by empowering others, fostering growth, and contributing to the collective knowledge. It's also about a deep passion for mentorship and the joy of seeing others succeed and flourish. Ultimately, it's about leaving a legacy that extends beyond personal acclaim.
Who shapes culture behind the curtain?
A lot of times it can be those behind the scenes innovators, mentors, and creators who shape culture quietly, like the teachers, the producers, the community leaders, and the unsung artists. They cultivate ideas, nurture talent, and influence trends and values from behind the curtain. Their dedication and vision ripple effort, leaving a lasting imprint on the cultural landscape.
Okay, so that's the video. Tell me your thoughts about this video in the comments. Also, put those questions in the comments that you feel that I should have asked that I didn't ask. I would love to do a part 2 on Amanda Aldridge. Also, put those names in the comments that you feel that I need to do a video on next. Be sure to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.